All right, so in this video, I'm going to discuss Shopify versus Amazon and which one I believe is better for you to start an e-commerce business and to generate profit. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So first of all, Shopify is basically just an e-commerce website or platform for you to build your own e-commerce website, whereas Amazon is an e-commerce marketplace that allows you to sell your product on. So with Amazon, you are getting a platform to sell your product, but they're also giving you customers that are wanting to buy. So think about Amazon being more like putting your product inside of a store, basically, whereas Shopify is more like building an actual store. So Amazon's more like, going and getting your product into Walmart, whereas Shopify would be, creating your own little brick and mortar store and having all the products on the shelf and everything. So they're different, but they are basically the two biggest platforms for people building e-commerce businesses. And so that's why I'm kind of putting them head to head. Amazon third-party sales is about $200 billion a year. And I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but Shopify is the third largest e-commerce platform. Basically goes in the United States. Basically goes Amazon, eBay, and then Shopify. But eBay is full of all kinds of random cars and high-end stuff, and so they're not really a retail platform, whereas Shopify and Amazon are more retail. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the pros and cons of Shopify, what I think is really great about Shopify and what I think is not great about Shopify. I use both Shopify and Amazon. In defense of Shopify, I am much more of an Amazon seller. I have multiple Amazon brands that generate anywhere from a few $1,000s a month up to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on Amazon, whereas I just have a small Shopify store that is just beginning. But I can give you, I've done e-commerce for a long time. I've sold on lots of other platforms, and I can give you my kind of unbiased opinion as best as I can. So the first thing that I think is amazing about Shopify is that you control everything, right? You control the complete buyer experience. You can code it. You can hire a designer. You can do whatever you want and just really create a great experience for your customers. You can control if a review shows, if a review doesn't show. You can have videos. You can do whatever you want on your Shopify store. It is yours to change and modify pretty much however you want, which is really, really great. And I love that. I wish I could do that on Amazon. And then the next thing is that they give you the data, right? They give you all this information about the customer, right? So you're learning all this information about what they're doing, how they're behaving, what they're clicking on, what they're adding to the cart, all this really cool information you're getting from Shopify to make the experience better, which is awesome. Next would be there's not a lot of competition when you're on Shopify on the platform. Like once you get traffic to your Shopify store, you're not seeing, people who bought this also bought this, or people who buy this ultimately bought this, or sponsored products related to your item. Like there is none of that crap. Like once you get somebody to Shopify, it's your experience and you control everything, right? Which is awesome. The next one that's like probably the biggest thing is that you actually get to the customer information. When they give a phone number, an address, an email, anything like that, that's yours. It's in your database. You can market to them again. You can email them. You can sell to them again. That is a huge win when using Shopify over Amazon. The next thing is that you have a potential for a higher ACV, or average cart value. Because you are owning the shopping experience, you can upsell them. When they're in there buying this widget, you can recommend this widget. You can do all kinds of things to increase how much money they're spending, whereas you don't get any of that when you're doing something on Amazon. Amazon might recommend them to buy something, but you don't get to control any of those recommendations. And if they do ultimately add something else to their basket to buy something to purchase, you are not influencing any of those things. That's all Amazon's doing. And then lastly, as a pro, is that a Shopify store, one that's doing well, is a very valuable asset. It is going to get a much higher multiple on earnings when you go to sell it than an Amazon business as far as multiple. So if you have two businesses, one's an Amazon business and one's a Shopify business, and the one only sells on Amazon and the other one only sells on Shopify, and they're both doing the same amount of revenue, the Shopify one will almost always be more valuable than the Amazon one. Now, there's lots of things like patents and IP and stuff that can make that completely wrong, but two kind of similar products, same thing, and basically they're the exact same business, but one's selling on Shopify and one's selling on Amazon. The Shopify one's going to be more valuable because everything's controlled by you. You own everything. Even if Shopify decides they hate you, it doesn't matter. It's your domain name. You just change it, move it to another platform, like easy peasy, not a big deal. So that's the great things about Shopify that I think are amazing. The cons of Shopify are going to be that it's expensive to set up. If you're going to do it right, you should probably hire a really good designer, have really good photography and everything like that. So that's going to be something that's going to be tough. You're going to have lower conversion rates, typically, like way lower conversion rates on Shopify than what you have on Amazon. And it is harder to acquire customers to Shopify because it's just sending somebody to your random website, like getting them to actually convert and give you money is just way harder than when they're on Amazon, where there's all this trust and everything else. And then also, you don't get to use FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. You have to actually set up your own logistics. So you have to either work with a third-party company to ship your stuff for you and set all that up, or you have to ship it yourself. Whereas if you're selling on Amazon, you don't have to do that. And so that's a big con for Shopify, is having to set up all those things. So now let's go ahead and jump into Amazon's pros and cons. And kind of some of these are the opposite we've already discussed, but let's go ahead and enumerate them one by one anyway. So the pros of Amazon, it is easy to set up. You can get selling a product on Amazon really quickly. You don't have to do a bunch of fancy designing and everything, because it's literally just some images and some text, and that's it. Now, you do need good images for your product, but that's really all you need is good images and some sales copy, and like you're in business, you're ready to go. So that is super awesome thing about Amazon. The next thing is that Amazon FBA is amazing. It is literally amazing. You just send your inventory in. They have logistics all over the world, and you can literally be selling in any country that Amazon set up in, like lickety split. Just send your stuff in and bam, you are selling there. It is just honestly a modern miracle. Selling on Amazon FBA is just great. And you're shipping to people in like 2 days, right? Like without spending billions of dollars in infrastructure. I love it. I can't overvalue it. Like, it's just amazing. The next thing is the access to the millions and millions and millions of Amazon shoppers. I mean, there's 100 million Amazon Prime shoppers in the US alone, and it is just an incredible place to get traffic and people to your products, right? That's the biggest thing about Amazon. Then the next thing would be that there's instant trust with your brand. As soon as you put something on Amazon, like, you're automatically going up in the trust factor. Like, maybe not until you get a few reviews, like maybe you're not like all the way up, but you're definitely higher than the random Shopify store, right? Like, it's just Amazon, like bam. I'll go to Amazon, I'll buy something. I know that it's from some random Chinese company that I've never even heard of before, and I'll buy it anyway, just because if I have a problem with it, I'll just return it. Like, boop, doesn't even matter, not a big deal. You don't get that on Shopify. Like, on Shopify, they're like looking at your site like, do I want to put in my credit card here? Like, is this safe? You know, just that kind of stuff is like difficult, where Amazon, like, they already have a credit card. They just press a button and they bought your thing. So incredibly good there. Because of that, the conversion rates on Amazon are way higher, like, at least in my testing, like way, way higher. And it's easy to scale Amazon, because if you get things right, like you have the fulfillment You don't have to have a fancy website and everything. If you just kind of like get the product right, then you can scale Amazon pretty easily just by understanding the marketplace and doing the traffic. So that's the pros of Amazon. The cons of Amazon is that Amazon controls everything. Like in Shopify, you control everything. On Amazon, they control everything. And because of that, you get no information, no data, and you do not own the customer. It is basically impossible to own a customer from an Amazon order. They buy it. They don't give you their address anymore. They don't give you their last name. They don't give you their, I think maybe in some API you can get their phone number, but that's like it. Like you get nothing. You get like a guy and it's like, Roy bought your thing and he lives in Arkansas, and like that's all you get. And you can barely even kind of message him through Amazon's buyer seller messaging, but that's it. Like you do not have a customer. Once that guy he bought from you, he's done. Like there's some strategies and tactics you can do to try to acquire it, but you're not building a list. You're not building a customer base. And so that's not good. The next thing that's a big con is that in a lot of niches, Amazon is competitive. And so you can't just, throw anything up there and expect to win. If the competition has thousands of reviews and you have 0, you're not going to be as competitive in that niche. So you have to go and find niches that are very not as competitive but still profitable. And I have a bunch of videos on that. If you want to check out our channel, go ahead and subscribe and we'll get you those. And I'll add some links to finding videos in the description below for finding products. But so that's that. And then one of the big things that if you're going to do Amazon, you don't have to spend a bunch of money setting up like your website or doing all that stuff, but you do have to spend money on getting ranked and getting reviews. So anytime you launch a product that's your own brand on Amazon, you are going to have to spend a certain amount of money, depending on how competitive your niche is, on getting those initial reviews and getting those initial sales. So if your competitor has thousands of reviews, it's going to cost you a lot of money to compete with them. If they have 100 or 50, it's going to be way easier. It's still going to cost you money, but not as much to compete with them. One last thing that I did not mention here is that if you just have a couple of SKUs, then Amazon is really nice because you're not having to fill out an entire website. Whereas if you're doing Shopify, you just have 1 or 2 SKUs, then that might look a little weird. But anyway, that's kind of the gist there. So now I'm actually going to show you inside of one of my smaller Amazon businesses and a little Shopify store that I set up, and just share with you some data that backs up what I'm talking about here. And once again, this is my experience. This is not a perfect test because these are 2 different businesses. So one business is just a Shopify business, one business is just an Amazon business. And so they're different, but they're both selling branded items. But they're way different niches, way different everything. What I'm going to do is kind of do the opposite. I'm going to actually do a better experiment in the future where we take these brands and we kind of put one on Shopify and then put the one that's on Shopify we'll put on Amazon. The one that's on Amazon we'll put on Shopify. And so then we can have a true apples to apples comparison. But for now, this is what I have. And I wanted to make this video because I thought it'd be pretty cool. So let me show you. So this is one of my stores, one of my Shopify stores. And as you can see, we had 20,000 sessions, and we had a nice 106 order value, but only a 0.35% conversion rate. Okay. So that's pretty terrible. Now, the cool thing is that Shopify gives us this data. They say, like, this is how many people are returning customers that have bought from us. So we're getting people come back and buy from us again. This is how many people add to the cart. This is how many people reach checkout. This is how many people convert. So I can see, like, I got a big drop off from add to cart to reach checkout, another big drop off from reach checkout to conversions, right? And so, that's interesting, but this conversion rate sucks. Like, this is bad. And like, I can make the website look better and I can do a lot of things, but ultimately I'm probably for a long time not going to have the trust that Amazon has. And so when we take these products and we put them on Amazon and we send traffic to it, I'm pretty confident that our conversion rate is going to be way better. But We'll see. But let me show you a conversion rate for some Amazon products. Now, these products are kind of not related, but look at this. So this is the traffic we've gotten, page views here. So same amount of time, less traffic, more sales, over $10,000 in sales on this one for lower priced items. And the conversion rate is the one that is really interesting. 20% on the number one selling item, 12% here, 8%, 7%, and then only 2% here. But like, this is such a small amount of traffic that we've gotten. Like the ones that are getting the traffic, the ones that are getting the decent amount of traffic, we're talking about, between 20 and 8.8% conversion rates here. So I see on my big Amazon business that does millions of dollars a year, I consistently see 20% conversion rates on that. So that's, or higher, sometimes even higher than that, conversion rates. And that's partially because of the way that Amazon, the traffic in the Amazon funnel is, right? People that are on Amazon have super high intent of purchase. They're basically going there and they're saying, I want a water bottle. And then they search water bottle and they see it and they buy it, right? And so if you're ranking in search, you're going to do better. Whereas with Shopify, you can run some Google ads and run in search and do Google shopping and stuff like that. But a lot of your advertisement and your traffic is going to be from social media. And so you're doing more like interruption style marketing. You're posting on social media, you're running social media ads, and you're basically saying like, hey, you're doing your thing. You aren't looking to buy this, but like, hey, this is cool. You should buy it. And then you're bringing them to your page and you're hoping for them to buy it. And so that is a big difference, right? Amazon has these customers that are ready. They're like at the store and they're shopping and they're like, I'm shopping for stuff, and they're putting stuff in their cart and they're adding things. And then they're like, yeah, I want that too. Bam. Whereas like, Facebook or Instagram, people are there to be entertained and to enjoy themselves. And so they're not as further down in the funnel. And so basically that kind of, those are kind of the two things that you have to deal with, right? And so until you develop your website to be a place where people intuitively go shopping, you're always going to be fighting that battle of traffic and everything on your own Shopify store versus Amazon. If you're ranked well, then it's just this machine that just makes money for you. And so those are ultimately the two different things. So in conclusion, I think choosing Amazon versus Shopify really depends on your business goals. If you're trying to build a true direct-to-consumer brand, so think of things like a really great one that's come out recently is the Purple mattress. So those guys, I think they actually are selling on Amazon now, but when they started, they launched on their own website. They had a really great video commercial that went viral and everything, and they had a great advertising campaign, and they brought people to their website to buy the Purple mattress, and now they have the pillows and all the different stuff like that. And if you're trying to do that, then and build a real direct-to-consumer brand, I think Shopify is definitely for you. It's really good place to start with. Basically, though, if you just have like a couple of SKUs, you don't have a big marketing budget, and you just want to make passive income and you want to grow a business that way, then I think Amazon is the place for you. And so it really depends on what your strengths are. If your strengths are like marketing and creative and advertising and building a beautiful website and you want to do email marketing and all this cool stuff, then Shopify might be an interesting place for you to start. But you really need to be good at that, and you need the budget to do it. Whereas Amazon is going to be more like, I'm good at data, I understand numbers, I know I'm gonna figure out how to get my product ranked, and I'm basically gonna start with like 1, maybe 2 SKUs, maybe 3 at the most, and I'm gonna really get those ranking and do my research and find that niche product and kind of leverage the traffic that's already there. And so those are kind of the two different options. Eventually, if you're doing your own brand, no matter which one you start on, you're gonna wanna sell on both. So if you're just selling on Amazon, then eventually you're going to want to sell on your own website. Shopify is pretty much the default place for that. There's other platforms like BigCommerce, WooCommerce, other stuff, but Shopify has really got a lot of infrastructure. And then on the other hand, if you start on Shopify and you have your own brand and everything, eventually it probably makes sense to get onto Amazon sooner rather than later and leverage both platforms. If you already have a list of customers that are already buying your product and everything else, whenever you launch new products, you can launch them to Amazon and you can rank better and you can kind of out market the people that are already on the platform. That's great. So I think going from Shopify to Amazon is actually easier than going from Amazon to Shopify. That's kind of my thing. If you are a Shopify seller and you're ready to go to Amazon, we are really good at helping you get over there. If you need help with that, I'll put a link in the description below to help you get over to go from Shopify to Amazon and get set up, get your products just crushing it on Amazon. Also, if you're selling in like brick and mortar and you want to go to Amazon, that's something that we're really good at. If you are selling on Amazon and you want to go to Shopify, that's something that we're still working on. I don't have a core competency in that just yet, but we are working on it. But what we do have is a way for you to build a list really easily. And so if you want to learn more about that, I'll make some videos on that, on how to build your list while you're selling on Amazon. And that will help you get ready to do the kind of the jump to like another channel besides just Amazon is building that list. That's it. Thanks for watching. Please, in the comments below, if you have any questions about this, let me know. If you are a Shopify guru and you want to kind of collab on some Shopify stuff and show me why I suck on Shopify, I'm down for that. If you think I'm totally bogus on any of these things, let me know in the comments below. If you like what you have learned today, please subscribe. It really helps motivate me to keep making these videos for you guys. And that's it. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.